Hey ladies, Kelly, your compassionate entrepreneur, manager, compassionate entrepreneur with Team Gold Diggers, and I just want to talk to you about time management. I'm sure your sponsor, when you signed on, talked to you about this, or maybe you've heard a call that Marianne has done about time management, or maybe you're just really good at managing your time yourself. But it's something that in balancing family life, being a stay-at-home mom, working a business from home is really difficult, and learning how to juggle all those things and learning when to say no and how to say no and why to say no has all been a journey for me in the last 2.5 years of working with Trades of Hope. So what I found in these really since leadership last year, so almost a year now, is using these 3 systems. Now this paper one is in my Google Documents, but this morning I wrote it out on paper, and I think I probably should have done that a long time ago, but just for make it easy for this video. So in my Google Documents and on my calendar, I have my set in stone things. I have and I'll go over that. And then from this, my set in stone things, I'm able to schedule my parties. I'm able to schedule interviews. I'm able to schedule calls with you all. I know when they need to go in my week based on this. And so then those things get scheduled into here. If I have a party, if I need to contact somebody, this is my month coming up, it's not as pretty or as full as I'd like. I'm going on vacation. I knew when I could schedule in parties around that. That went in first in this month. I knew, okay, these are my party days. I'm having personal parties or things. I write in there when I need to meet with my, what days I might call y'all, or here in the notes that this week I need to contact these customers or these hostesses or these compassionate entrepreneurs. And so on Mondays, our days I was doing them on Wednesdays, but I think contacting y'all in the beginning of the week is better, and I'm going to start doing some new fun things within our team. So Mondays are going to be team focused days, Tuesdays are going to be hostess focused days, and Wednesdays are going to be customer focused days. Because my customer focus, normally it's wrapping up parties and that kind of thing, which also happens in my weekend as well. Wednesdays are a lighter day so that I can catch up with any extra stuff and get ready for my parties in the weekend, because personally I work from 8:30 to 4:15-ish. My time is taken up with a part-time job on Thursdays and Fridays. So that's that, and then based on what I have going on in here in my day planner, and maybe you have an even better day planner where it's all 3 of these kind of things in one. I just haven't spent the money on that yet. So then I fill out the night before. So tonight's Wednesday. I don't fill out a 6 most important thing on Wednesday nights or Thursday nights, because I work on Thursdays and Fridays, and there's a huge chunk of my day is taken up. So I just will mark on there clean floors and call Adrian or something like that. So it's real simple. But for on Saturday nights, Sunday nights, Monday nights, Tuesday nights, I fill out my top 6. Friday nights as well, especially if I have a party on Saturday, to make sure that I'm accounting for my time and remembering anything that I need to do personally. So I'll fill out my top 6, and that helps my Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays be a lot more productive, and I know exactly. I'm not just looking at this and saying, okay, now it's time to make phone calls. Okay, who do I need to call? No, I already know from this that I need to call Michelle, or I need to call Allison and Shauna, which is what it says today, which I guess I could show you today's. So on my daily schedule, I've blocked out. Now, I would love it to be a lot more colorful than this, but I only had 3 colors of pens, and anyway. So I have some hours broken down into half hours, and others in full hours, depending on what I knew that is going to be full. That time is going to be filled with. I start my morning early, and I work out. And this time in here, all right, baby, wait a minute. This time in here is flexible. It depends a lot on my husband's schedule, but ideally, I come back from my workout. I start getting into a more worshipful, prayerful mindset for my day. That's how I like to start it. I'll have breakfast and take a shower, have time in God's Word, and then start on some chores. And that'll all look different. Maybe I'll even throw a load of laundry in before I even walk out of the door to go work out. Maybe I know I need to get in the shower as soon as I get home, because my husband's going to need to be in it by, and out the door by 7, and I don't want to wait until 7 to, get clean. so that there's all a little bit of flexibility in that, but for me personally, all of like I'm taken care of, and chores are started by 8 o'clock in the morning. And that is not me. I mean, if you were to ask my mom, I'd sleep until like I was taught at home, so I didn't have to be up at school early in the morning, and I've never been a morning person. And in college, I tried to schedule my classes as late as possible, of course only to be put on the 5:30 a.m. guard shift, so that was not fun. But anyway, I'm not a morning person, but my flex workouts have changed that, and I love them, and they're a great start to my day. So find what works for you, but get that good start, getting your right mindset. If you can, I know some of you guys are laughing at me right now, Katie, but if you can, get out of bed before your kids do and get in that right mindset. And especially if you're a believer in Jesus Christ, like get in that worshipful mindset and say, okay, Lord, this is your day. Help me to be the most productive that I can for the success of my business and success of my family. And he wants us to be successful. Okay, so then by 9 o'clock, if I haven't already, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at my top 6 most important things for the day, and I'm looking like today's things that I wanted to get done. Pay the bills is the only one of my personal things that I've gotten done. I've started making some videos, called a couple of contacts from customers because today's my customer day. Posted in some Facebook parties. I've done these things so far. I have some people I need to make phone calls with that I haven't done yet, and some parties that I need to set up. So I have that on my top 6, and I'm like, okay, here's what we're going to do. By 9 o'clock, by the time I've looked at this, or maybe even I've looked at this before, but my daughter wakes up, and my 8 o'clock hour is not scheduled because that's normally me getting her ready, getting her up for the day, spending time with her. Hey, baby, I'll pick that up later. I can carry it back to your closet, okay?
I can't. I'm strong.
I know you're strong, but it is very heavy. And so that's kind of her hour.
I can carry very heavy.
And then I'm looking. I have a whole hour here that says top 6 most important. I'm not always going to get the top 6 most important done in that hour, but that's my goal, is to look at that and get done the Trades of Hope top 6 most important, or at least start heading in that way. I'm not getting on Facebook or email unless one of the most important things is responding to an email, which actually today was responding to an email from customer service or from CE development, and so responding to that email was something that I wanted to get done in the beginning of the day. Very good, thank you. Please go. So then, so then I'm getting those kind of things knocked out of the way. On Tuesdays, team prep, anything that I might need to do regard to the team on Facebook, or making phone calls, if for those of you who prefer a phone call before noon, or I have it scheduled in for afternoon. So morning and afternoon time to focus on team building, hostess coaching, and customer service. And then I have another hour, just like that 8 o'clock hour isn't scheduled, my 1 o'clock hour isn't scheduled. Sometimes getting her down for a nap doesn't happen within the 12 o'clock hour scheduled for lunch and nap time. And sometimes by the time she is down for a nap, I need a moment to regain myself and regain composure and get set and spend just a moment for me. And on the rare occasion that I do want to watch a show, that's when I would watch a show in that hour. And then phone calls and emails again within the 2 o'clock hour, corresponding to either team or hostesses or customers. And then I have, I don't know if you guys can even really see, I know it's backwards, but I have like the Compassion calls and the Hope University calls scheduled in there, and on Tuesdays just continued education for any books that I might want to read or that kind of thing. And then, babe, I'll be done in a minute, okay? And then I do have also play dates scheduled in and stuff. If, say, somebody's doing something on a Tuesday morning when normally I'd be running errands or calling hostesses or that kind of thing, then I'll do those things when my play date's scheduled for Monday afternoons or Tuesday afternoons or that kind of thing. And do it then. So don't remember that you are running a business, especially if you're taking this seriously, if you want to take this seriously, if you want your business to be successful. Other people can't easily schedule things unless, even doctor's appointments. Try to Make them productive if you can. Spend some time on the phone or that kind of thing. Or if you do need to schedule a doctor's appointment when you would normally be making phone calls or returning emails, or like I have here on Monday afternoons, a block for scheduling any potential CE interviews. Now, if it's not, if Monday's just not going to work out for that person, maybe they're at work during that time or whatever, I can do it another time during the week, but that's reminding me that I want, there's an hour in my week where I need to be scheduling this. I'm not going to be scheduling an hour every day of the week for that. It's going to be, a Monday afternoon or a Saturday afternoon within that week. And so just making sure that those IPAs are happening, that you're coaching your hostesses, that you're pouring into your team, that you're following up with your customers, and that you've scheduled time for parties, which is what I'm going to talk about now. Now, obviously, this is a week at a glance. Like, this is just my kind of set in stone guidelines for this every day, which comes off of this monthly. So when somebody says that they want to host a party, I'm going to flip into here, and I'm going to see my available dates in green. Let's see if July is already blocked out. Okay, so I don't have much going on in July yet, unfortunately. But I have dates blocked out for this Saturday and this Saturday, for this Friday night, or this Tuesday. This is the week of VBS. Last week I had like 3 parties the week that I volunteered for VBS. And I can't do that this year. It was exhausting, and so I've committed my week to VBS, and so I won't be doing any parties that week. So I have them in green so that I know these are my party dates. This is when I want to do it. And then, like on Tuesdays, I'm not going to start a party. Now, I could do a party on a Tuesday mid-morning and bring my daughter along, but if they want a kid-free party, and I've done that before in the summer, I've had, they play outside with water balloons and stuff like that, and we talk and we have a party. It was a great success. Moms came with their kids, and it was a lot of fun. So I can do that in the morning, but ideally in the evening, and that would start on Tuesdays. I have my time blocked from 6 to 9, and that doesn't mean I'll be at a party from 6 to 9. But sometimes I do drive as far as an hour away, and so I know I don't want to leave my house before 6, so her party's going to need to start at like 7:30. Of course, then that means I'm getting home later, but by then it's all the same. And remember, we don't count driving time as far as time that we're getting paid for. So there's probably more I could talk about, and if you have any questions about that, you can, but she's getting restless. So within this time that's set aside that's green, that's focused for my business, I have 7 hours in my week set aside here for income-producing activities on my business. And just like this video is probably a lot longer than it should have been because of distractions and me not being able to think clearly and follow my notes. That's, maybe actually 5 hours are actually being spent on those activities and actually being productive, but there's 7 hours that are set aside for that within my day. And it's not 7 hours like on Thursdays or Fridays when I'm 7 hours at a job where I don't see her and where my time is not my own and where I can't, be pouring into this business or whatever. Although I do call you guys sometimes during the, it's 7 hours that are mine, that I'm getting to decide on, and I really like that. That's a big perk for me, and without all of the huge responsibility of owning my own business, like my friend who owns her own workout studio. I don't have near the stress of running this business as she does running hers, and I love that. But my time is still my own to schedule and manage as I want. And then I have 10 and a half hours scheduled in there for parties, which on my schedule kind of, I'm not going to leave my house any earlier than 6 on a Tuesday. So if they live 30 minutes away, then that means I don't want the party to start until 7 because I want to get there about 20-30 minutes beforehand or give myself that time. And so that's what that is on Tuesdays. Now maybe the party's 5 minutes down the road and it starts at 6:30. That's fine. I'm not going to leave my house in the evening any sooner than 6 o'clock because I need to get them dinner and fed and everything. But Friday nights are different and Saturdays are different. So I have that party, that time set aside for parties. And when I'm not partying, as suggested, then I'm going to be doing something else. I'm going to be on the phone with you guys. I'm going to be making a video. I'm going to be continuing my education. I'm going to be, on a Tuesday when I know I don't have a party on a Tuesday night, maybe that morning I spend extra time with my daughter, or do some volunteer work, or I say, oh, it's okay for me to, take a meal over to a mom that just had a baby or something like that, and that's fine. And then that evening, and that time that's carved out for a party, then I would be making my phone calls or returning emails, or on Facebook parties, or posting in parties, or setting up automatic messages, or those kind of things. So that is that. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I know this video is really long. Just count it towards your continued education time in your schedule. And so that's less than that time, that 7.5 hours of business and the 10 hours of parties. It doesn't necessarily mean 17.5 hard hours that I'm spending on my business a week, but it's between 14 and 20 hours, depending on how many parties I have. On Saturdays, if I don't have a party, I'm not putting any time into my business. I'm putting it into my family. So I hope that this helps you guys with the calendar blocking, especially if you haven't been able to sit down with your sponsor and talk about that. And if that is something that you want to talk about, give them a call, and they can help you, or give me a call, and I'd be willing to help you just look at what you have going on in your life, and how you need to schedule around that. And I'd be happy to help you, so it doesn't take you, a year and a half to figure out what to say yes to and what to say no to, or how important this business is to you. You can get that, you can decide all of that right from the beginning. So, hopefully this was helpful to y'all.